After a long day, you're almost home. Same road, same turns, same routine. Your mind drifts for just a second, and then everything goes black. No warning, no pain, just silence. But then, something impossible happens. You're still there. You're looking down at your own body. People are shouting your name. Sirens echo in the distance. Someone is pressing on your chest again and again. And the strangest part? You don't feel anything. No pain, no fear. Just peace. And then something starts pulling you. Not physically, but something is drawing you away. A darkness opens, and in the distance, a light. Brighter than anything you've ever seen. Alive, calling you forward. And for some reason, you don't want to go back. Because what you're about to experience has been reported by thousands of people from different countries, different religions, different beliefs. People who technically shouldn't have survived. At first, most people don't even realize what's happening. They think they're dreaming, watching, floating. They see doctors working on them. They hear conversations clearly, even when they're across the room. Some later repeat those conversations, word for word, details they had no way of knowing. And that's when it hits them. They're not in their body anymore. What you just experienced is called a near-death experience, an NDE. It happens when someone is clinically dead or close to it. No heartbeat, no measurable brain activity, and somehow they come back. Doctors call it near death, but the people who live through it, they don't call it that at all. Many people describe the moment of death in a similar way. First, sound fades, then vision narrows, then everything goes completely silent, and then a shift. Some describe it like stepping out of a heavy suit. Others say it feels like being released from pressure they didn't even realize they were carrying. And then suddenly, they're free. First, they realize they're above their body, watching, detached. Then something pulls them, not violently, not forcefully, but irresistibly. They move through darkness, a tunnel, not empty, but alive. And at the end of it, there's light. Not just light, presence. People describe it as pure love, total understanding, a feeling of being completely known and completely accepted. And then something happens that almost everyone remembers, the life review. But it's not like remembering your past. You don't just see it, you relive it, every moment, every choice. But here's the part that changes people forever. You feel what everyone else felt. Every time you hurt someone, you feel their pain. Every time you helped someone, you feel their gratitude. It's not judgment, it's understanding. And this next part is where the experience changes completely. Not every near-death experience is peaceful. Some people don't see light. They see darkness, endless, silent, a void where time doesn't exist. Others report something more disturbing, shadow-like figures, voices they don't understand, a feeling of being watched or pulled somewhere they don't want to go. And some say the most terrifying part wasn't what they saw. It was the feeling that they weren't supposed to leave. But here's where things get even harder to explain. In some cases, people didn't just feel like they left their body. They saw things, specific things, details that were later confirmed, objects in rooms they couldn't physically see, conversations happening far away. One patient described a shoe on a hospital roof, something no one noticed until someone actually went up and found it. These aren't just feelings, they're observations, and they raise a question that science still struggles to answer. How do you see without eyes? One of the most well-known cases is Eben Alexander, a neurosurgeon, someone who believed consciousness was created entirely by the brain. He fell into a coma caused by bacterial meningitis. His brain activity dropped to levels that should have made complex experiences impossible. But he later described traveling through vast, living landscapes, encountering a presence he could only describe as unconditional love. And when he came back, his entire worldview changed. Then there's Anita Morjani. Her body was shutting down from stage 4 cancer. During her NDE, she said she felt completely free from pain. She described a level of clarity, like suddenly understanding everything. She was told she had a choice: stay or come back. She came back, and within weeks, her cancer was gone. Then there's Betty Eady, who described leaving her body during surgery, meeting a being of light, and being shown that every life, even the painful parts, has meaning. And then there are the people you'll never hear about. A firefighter buried under rubble who said he watched his own rescue from above. A mother during childbirth who says she met a child she had lost years earlier. These stories aren't rare. They're happening every day. And then there are the children. Kids too young to understand death, too young to have religious expectations, and yet they describe the same things: the tunnel, the light, the feeling of love. Some even describe meeting relatives they had never been told about. And when those details are checked, they turn out to be real. Across the world, across belief systems, the patterns are almost identical. People expect these experiences to match their religion, but many say what they experienced didn't match anything they were taught. It was something else entirely. Scientists have tried to explain near-death experiences. Some point to oxygen deprivation, others to chemical releases in the brain, like DMT. And those explanations may account for parts of the experience, but they don't explain everything. They don't explain the consistency, the clarity, the verifiable observations. And they don't explain why people come back completely changed. Because what happens after they return might be the most important part. People don't come back the same. Many lose their fear of death completely. They become more compassionate, less focused on money, more focused on meaning. Some quit their jobs overnight, leave relationships, start entirely new lives. But there's a darker side. Some people struggle deeply. They feel disconnected from reality, like this world is less real than what they experienced. Some fall into depression. Others develop anxiety. Some even regret coming back because nothing here compares to what they felt there. And here's something most people don't realize. Many people never talk about their experience, not because they forgot, but because they're afraid no one will believe them. Doctors dismiss them. Friends question them. Family doesn't understand, so they stay quiet. Another detail: time doesn't behave normally. People report living through what feels like years in just minutes, entire lifetimes compressed into seconds. And then, without warning, they're back, slamming into their body. Pain returns, noise floods in, fear hits instantly, like being forced back into something they no longer wanted. So what are near-death experiences? A dying brain trying to make sense of chaos? Or something else entirely? A glimpse of what happens when consciousness leaves the body. Tonight, when everything is quiet, ask yourself this. If you had 10 seconds outside your body, what would you see? If you've ever experienced something like this, or something you can't explain, I want to hear your story. Email me the.unexplained.encounters@gmail.com. If this made you think differently, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to see it. Sleep well tonight, because the line between life and whatever comes next might be thinner than we think. See you in the shadows.